Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this books read tracker using a Dutch door technique. It gives it a more realistic look and feel, and it actually looks like a finished book when you're done. Let's get started. Some of the tools that you're going to need for this project are scissors. Any standard scissors will do. You'll also need a ruler. This will be used to measure as well as a straight edge for cutting. You'll need a pencil to make marks on your paper for where you're going to be cutting. You'll also need some type of slice tool or straight edge razor. This will be used to create the book effect. You'll need some type of permanent adhesive or double-sided tape and the paper that you're going to be using. Some other supplies you may need are a bone folder to create a score line, your favorite pen to outline the outside edge of the book, and then any colored markers or mild liners that you'll be using to create the outside edge of the book. If you're going to be using existing notes pages from your MakseLife Planner, carefully use scissors to snip out 2 pages. I'm right-handed, so I like to have the binding edge on the right with the paper on the left. Notice that each ring on the binding is actually 2 rings. Carefully place your scissors between the 2 and snip the paper so that it can be removed easily. Repeat this for each binding ring for both pages. Carefully remove the pages by lifting them off the binding. You should now have 2 notes pages. Set one of them aside, we will need it later. We'll start by making the top of the book first. Use your ruler to measure at least 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the top and bottom of your paper. You should make sure that the distance you decide on is at least the width of your adhesive tape. Since my paper is lined, I'm going to select one of the lines that is 3/4 of an inch to cut on from the top and bottom of the page. Mark these lines with a pencil. Then measure at least 1/2 inch from the side of your paper and make a mark on the same lines you marked previously on the top and the bottom. These mark the side edges of your book. Next, you'll want to measure 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the outside edge of the binding side of the paper. This will be where the fold of the book will be. Make sure that you leave at least 1/2 inch between the binding punch and where you will fold your book. Use your slice tool to cut a straight line between the marks you just made to create the top and bottom cutouts of your book. Then cut along the side. Be careful not to cut on the binding edge. Next, use a bone folder or other scoring tool, or even a credit card, to create a score line on the left side and fold your paper to create the finished cover shape for your book. This page will lay on top of the second page of lined paper you placed off to the side earlier. Using your adhesive or double-sided tape, add tape around the outside back edge of the page we just cut. To make this easier, I'm going to add adhesive one side at a time. Add your adhesive to the top. Then line up your pages and stick them together. Repeat this for the side and bottom of the book until the 2 pages are attached on 3 sides. Next, carefully add adhesive along the binding edge. For additional durability, for instance, if you will be taking this page in and out of your planner throughout the year, you may want to choose to carefully add some adhesive along each individual punch tab as well. Your book is ready for the finishing touches. Erase any stray pencil marks from earlier. Then, using the color of your choice, I'm using a brown mild liner. Use the bullet point to add a line of color to the inside top, side, and bottom of your book cover. This will define the edge of the book when it is open. With your book cover closed, use the same color marker, but use the chisel end this time. Draw a bold line directly over the 3 cut lines of your book. This will add color to each side of the cover edge. You can make these lines as thick or as thin as you would like. Next, make a thick line along the inner folded edge. Use your pen to outline the outside edge of the book cover. This does not have to be perfect, but go slow to help create a straight line. You can also use a ruler for this step if you would like. Use your marker to do any touch-ups. Next, create a diagonal line from the top left corner down and to the left. Then make a similar line from the bottom left corner and the bottom right corner of your page. This line should be about 1/2 inch long. Use the chisel end of your marker to create the spine of your book. Then outline the outside edge of the spine with your black pen. Draw a straight line along the bottom edge, connecting the two diagonal lines. Then draw lines across the bottom to create the illusion of pages in your book. These lines do not have to be straight or even perfect. The last step is to decorate your tracker using whatever creative method you choose. Have fun and think about how your book tracker can help motivate you to get more out of your reading goals this year. Once your book tracker is complete, it's time to add it back to your MakseLife Planner. Use either your finger or scissors to carefully push in each binding tab until your pages are attached to the wire row binding. Your Books Read tracker is ready for 2021. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, press that subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, select that red bell to get notifications first when new videos have been uploaded.